Welcome to the Esports Report. We're back. Hi, everybody. I hope you're having a good day. I am your lovely and humble host, Ashley Hodge. Will cannot be with us today because he is currently moving houses and moving jobs. So when he gets back, I will let him talk about that with you if he wants to. So let's do some updates. I know we kind of dropped off the face of the planet towards the end of the year. The end of the year is very, very stressful for a lot of teachers. If you're an academic teacher, you have your end of pathway test, your milestones. If you are an elective teacher like myself, you have your end of pathway test. And also, we're burned out, kids are burned out, and everybody is exhausted. So Will and I kind of dropped off the face of the planet, and we apologize for that. We realized that posting once a week while both of us worked full-time as teachers and all of the extra things that we do was a little ambitious. So we're going to scale it back a little bit, and we're going to post at least once a month. I think that is more reasonable given the schedules that he and I both have. So yes, moving forward at least once a month. So some more updates. I am currently getting ready for my second trip out to California. I'm being flown out to the Golden State by Riot Games, creators of League of Legends, Valorant, Legends of Runeterra, and Teamfight Tactics. So that'll be very exciting. This is the second trip that I've done for them. The first one was in February. So I'm super excited about that. I'm getting ready for that. And I'll be able to talk more about it once I get back. As far as the 2022 esports season, it was a good year. I was unfortunately not able to go to the state championship this year. I had other obligations. But I will brag on the students in my program. This was the first year that we had a Madden team that was headed up by Coach Clint Sanders, who also coaches flag football. Flag football won at the state championship. And gosh darn it, our Madden team almost won too. We actually made it to the Elite Four, so the Final Four. That was very exciting. Unfortunately, my student did get knocked out of playoffs, but first time in my school's history that a team or a player has made it that far. So that will wrap up updates for me. And today's episode is going to be a deep dive into the 3 companies that offer esports in the state of Georgia. The purpose of this episode is to give schools, parents, students, interested admin, a deeper look at the 3 different companies, the pros and cons of each, and which one is the best for your school. So we will be right back after I take a short break. Alrighty, so welcome back. Today we're going to be talking about the 3 different companies that offer esports in Georgia. So we have Play VS, we have the High School Esports League, and we have NASEF, the North American Scholastic Esports Federation. So we're going to do a deep dive into these websites and talk about the pros and cons of each organization and figure out which one is right for your school. So the very first one we're going to start with is NASEF. Again, this is the North American Scholastic Esports Federation. The actual one that we have here in Georgia is GCEF, which is just Georgia. So we have GCEF. So there you go, the Georgia Scholastic Esports Foundation. So this is the nonprofit. This is the only nonprofit company that is currently operating in Georgia, and they are partnered with NASEF. So NASEF, as you can see, has a lot of things that they offer. If you go to the About Them page, you can learn about the Federation, about their mission, their vision. It says right here that they want to provide opportunities for all students to use esports as a platform to develop STEM-based skills and any social emotional attributes such as communication, collaboration, and problem solving. So then they have their vision. to ensure that all students possess the knowledge and skills needed by society's game changers, educated, productive, and empathetic individuals. And then they have their core values: learning, opportunity, community, and diversity. So that's a little bit about NASEF. If you go to the clubs page, you'll find a bunch of information about the clubs. You have learning. The really cool thing about NASEF is they offer you a curriculum that you can use in your classes. STEM classes is their focus. But as you can see, they have a lot of interesting things. They're particularly good at using Minecraft, using games in the classroom for education, gamification, game-based learning. So if you're interested, you should check that out. And then they have their competitions. They have events, news, videos, and of course, resources. So this is the NASEF again. So this is NASEF.org. Particularly for us in Georgia, we have GCEF, which is, Georgia State Esports Federation. We actually interviewed the organizer for this organization. That was PK Graph, if you want to go back and look at that episode. So basically, this website is very similar and set up NASEF. So you have home, about GCEF, compete, donate, shop, news, and events. So if you scroll down, you will see different news icons pop up. You can shuffle through them right here. And of course, we have the mission, the vision, and their affiliation. So the mission of GCEF is to provide opportunities for all Georgia students to use esports as a platform to acquire critical communication, collaboration, and problem-solving skills needed to thrive in work and life. So that was adapted from NASEF. And then, of course, you have the vision that is directly linked to the NASEF vision. And then, of course, you have their affiliation. They're affiliated with the North American Scholastic Esports Federation. They offer a accredited curriculum and a national support system, which includes national competitions, as well as educational challenges and or resources. So they do have a button right here that says learn how to activate your esports program. So if you click on that, it'll talk about GCEF and then how to activate. So you have to activate your esports club. If you click on that, you sign up. So the interesting thing about GCEF is they also offer organizations and games for middle school. So they're one of the few, if only, because I can't remember if I don't think Play Versus offers anything for middle school students. And I do not think the high school esports league does either. So just follow these instructions and you'll be able to get set up and get going. Let's see what else we got going on with GCEF. All right, there we go. So you have the compete. So this talks about the different tournaments that they have going on. And it talks about how you register. It talks about combining middle school and high school students. So they do play each other. It's not just limited to high school versus high school. They do have middle school only leagues. And then they have different videos on how to get started. So let's see what games they offer. Let's see if we can't find the games that they offer. There we go. So here are the games that GCEF offers. We have Rocket League, that is 3v3, Knockout City, 3v3, Brawlhalla, 1v1, and 10-minute chess, 1v1. So they are limited on the games that they offer, but unlike Play VS and the National High School Esports League, GCEF is free. It is a nonprofit. It is free to join. It is free to play. And then, of course, you can donate to it if you want to. They have a nice little donate button. They have a shop where you can buy your GSEF gear, your GCEF gear, which is pretty cool. And, of course, you have your news and events page. So you can read about all the cool things that GCEF is doing. All right, so pros. Let's list some positives of GCEF. It's free. And as an educator in a Title I school, I like hearing the word free. So GCEF is free. I can't really talk about getting started because I have not been through that process. But I do like that they have videos that you can watch to help you. So I would say that that's a positive. They do have like a clear kind of outline, a kind of like step-by-step process of how you get started. So I do like that. I will list that as a positive. I do like that they provide curriculum, that they have some kind of curriculum where you can use esports in a classroom. That is very interesting to me, and I think it's fun for students. I like the design. I know that's so minute, but I love the little peach with the sunglasses and the headset. I think that's very cute. So I think graphically they did a great job with their logo. Some cons I would say is the game availability. The problem with a lot of companies is that they can only offer the games that are approved by the parent and state organizations. And it's just really hard to like play the popular games that kids are interested in, really. They want to play Call of Duty, they want to play CSGO, all of these first-person shooters and M-rated games that a lot of schools and state organizations just do not feel like those kind of games belong in a high school setting. So you can take that to, think about what you will with that information. So I would say one of the negatives or one of the limitations of GCEF is their games are not, Rocket League is very popular. Knockout City and Brawlhalla, I know a lot of my students play that and it's fun. I don't have a lot of students who are playing 10-minute chess, but, they're working on getting more games, I'm sure, but just as of right now, this is a limitation. So should you choose GCEF for your school if you're in the state of Georgia? It really is going to depend. GCEF is free. It seems like it's very easy to get started. It seems they have, middle school leagues. So if you have a middle school that's interested in a state, not really a state, but in just an esports organization, GCEF is a great place for them to get started. So again, schools who have very, 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 very limited or really non-existent funds for esports, this is a great place to get started, again, because it's free. The limitation with this is you will not be able to participate in a state-sanctioned esports competition. So GHSA does not recognize GCEF. You will not be having like a big event like at a arena through GHSA. So that's kind of a limitation. I'm sure GCEF does its own things. I'm sure that, they give out trophies and things like that. All of their events might be online. I don't know. I don't know if they host in-person events or if they do online events. That would be a question for PK Graft, whose information I can link down below. Again, so if your school is working on a limited or non-existent budget, GCEF might be the way to go. So that's GCEF. All right, so now we're going to move on to the High School Esports League. This is a for-profit company. It's not a nonprofit like GCEF. And their website is different. GCEF had the nice white background. The High School Esports League has black background with white text. So when you go to this website, it's highschoolesportsleague.com. The very first thing you're going to see is High School Esports League. You're going to see different pictures of students, and you're going to see this message right here. School is almost out. The summer open is here. It's free to compete and has $75K plus and prizes up for grabs. So it's a pretty bold statement. That's a lot of money in prizes that GCEF didn't offer. So that's interesting. And their games are vastly different than the games that GCEF offered. So they have Valorant 5v5 for the PC, Brawlhalla 1v1, and this is crossplay on PC, consoles, and mobile. You have Rocket League 3v3 crossplay on PC and all consoles. So if you don't know what crossplay is, that just means that if I'm playing on a PC, a computer, I can play with somebody who's playing on a PS4. So I don't know if GCEF does that or not. That again is a question for PK Craft. I don't see why they wouldn't. Again, that would just be something to ask if you're interested in using GCEF and signing up for that. They have CSGO that's on the PC. They have Rocket League. Rocket League is 2v2 with the High School Esports League. With GCEF, it was 3v3, and it's mobile and on the app. Oh, I see. I can't read evidently. They have the 3v3 and the 2v2. They have Rainbow Six Siege. It's 5v5 on the PC. Minecraft solo And then you have Halo Infinite 4v4 PC and Xbox, and then 10-minute chess. So they offer first-person shooters where GCEF does not. And the reason why they are able to offer these first-person shooters is because they are not directly affiliated with a state organization or parent organization, because GHSA would never allow Halo, Rainbow, CSGO, or Valorant. They would not allow first-person shooters. So you can click on this Learn More button, and it talks about the Summer Open. These are the games for the Summer Open, key dates, and that kind of thing. If you scroll down, it'll talk about scholarships. So this is very interesting. I did not see this on the GCEF page, but the potential scholarship money that you can earn from participating in the Summer Open that the High School Esports League is offering. You have Rocket League, Valorant, and Brawlhalla. The first place team in Rocket League gets $5,000. The second team gets $2,500. And the third place team gets $1,000. For Valorant, the first place team gets $7,000. The second place team gets $3,000, and the third place team gets $1,500. For Brawlhalla, the first place team is $3,000, second place team is $1,500, and the third place team is $500. So that's very interesting and encouraging to see a company that is offering scholarship money. So that's very exciting. And then, of course, they have some other prizes down here. They have all their social media and the Register Now button. And I already see Middle School Esports, so I lied. Apparently, the High School Esports League and GCEF both offer Middle School Esports, which is very encouraging because middle school students are playing esports and they need a safe place to learn important skills just like the high school students. So let me go back to the homepage for the High School Esports League. So you have our games. So again, I've already listed all of the games that they offer. You can go to events. So they have the Summer Open, the yearly calendar, and they have Win an Esports Lab. So that's interesting. You can win an esports lab for your school. So it says they're giving away 25 esports lab and STEAM experiences to middle school, high school, and colleges. So depending on what school you are, you would click the middle school button, the high school button, or the college button, and it talks about what you get. So you will get 6 gaming computers, and then all the necessary equipment to go with those, including keyboards, mice, and headsets. Middle schools will additionally receive an unlimited pass to the Middle School Esports League. And the high schools will receive, an unlimited yearly pass to the High School Esports League and half-a-day learn and build STEM courses for students. So they talk about applications, and then they have an FAQ. So GCEF did not offer that, and that is very interesting. So another positive for the High School Esports League. So if you scroll down, they talk about their mission, and then they talk about their accredited curriculum. So it's STEM.org, accredited experience and curriculum. So what they focus on is video game curriculum, including gaming concepts and why that is important. You can learn more if you click on the gaming concepts button. And it talks about their curriculum, which would be very good if you had a computer science teacher teaching game design. So it lists the courses, esports training, and tournaments. And then they have upcoming events. They talk about the courses a little bit, why you need this, and the tournaments. And then, of course, they have a Get in Touch section where you can fill out your information and kind of get the ball rolling on if you want to use the High School Esports League. So I do like that. I do like the layout of this curriculum page. If I click on courses, it'll give me an overview. So some of the courses that they offer is Digital Framework, providing access to STEM fields, College and Career Readiness, Social Emotional Learning, Gameplay Online Learning Experience Management System. So that sounds very cool. And then, of course, you have your esports training. So this is really for coaches, and this is very, 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 very extensive. I will say I'm very impressed just looking at these videos. So they have these videos that are rotating around the screen that are very specific. So like, for example, one says pinking in Valorant, attacking and defending in Valorant. And then it looks like if you scroll further down, they have additional resources. They have an AIM lab integration, which is where your students can practice just aiming for first-person shooters, apparently. That looks very cool. They allow you to record your matches and use this program to highlight plays and, make corrections on the screen right there. You see where it's just circled. And so that would be very useful for coaching. And of course, you have the get in touch button. So that looks like that is the high school esports league. If you scroll down, they have a map where you can look and see all of the places that they are at, all of the states. And then, of course, they have where they were featured on, including USA Today, Variety, New York Times, just to list a few. So overall, I'm actually very impressed with the high school esports league. The games they offer are the popular games that kids want to play. Unfortunately, a lot of schools would look at that and say, no, you cannot use high school esports league. So with the first person shooters, that kind of like automatically disqualifies this for a lot of schools. You can still use the high school esports league if you want to. Your school would just probably not let you play the shooters. So that would leave you with Brawlhalla, Rocket League, Mobile Rocket League, Minecraft, and 10-minute chess. With only those games, assuming that your school does not let you play first-person shooters, that's very limited with games. So I would say that's a negative with the high school esports league is, again, we have a limited game set, might not be like the most popular games that students play. The cool thing that I think is a positive is the accredited curriculum. I do not think GCEF's been able to get their curriculum accredited yet. I'm sure they're working on it. P. Graf talked a little bit about that in the episode. You can go back and look at that if you want to. I do like curriculum as a teacher, and I do like video games. So when you combine the two of them together, that works for me and a lot of teachers out there. So I do like that. I do not know how much it costs. So that might help if we click on the pricing button so we can see how much it costs. GCEF did not have this because, again, GCEF is free. So as you can see, they have different payment plans that are clearly laid out. You have free individual season passes, unlimited season passes, and unlimited annual pass. The free option says 0 for everything below. It says you can compete in any of the free games during the fall and spring majors, compete in free community events and summer tournaments, compete for scholarship prizing, college recruiting opportunities, qualify for quest participation prizes, and free scrimmages. So that's pretty good for it being free. Let's see, if you go to the next plan, this is individual season pass. This is $40 for an individual. So this is valid for the spring or fall. So one or the other. You can compete in all the titles that are offered. You still get the scholarships. You get the free community events. You get the college recruiting, and you get the scrimmages and the quest participation prizes. The next one is called the Unlimited Season Pass. This is $850 for the school per season. So unlimited passes for spring or fall. So it seems like there are two I'm trying to think of the word, I'm blanking, 2 opportunities to participate in this. So it looks like it's year round if you wanted to participate in both, or it seems like you can pick one. So this is very similar to the first one. The only difference here is that you can request a free loot crate, which apparently is $200 in value, and a coaching certification, which is $200 in value. So that's the difference between the $850 per school and the $40 for the individual pass. And then we have the unlimited annual pass. So this is $1,500 for a school for the year. So you have unlimited passes for both the seasons, fall and spring. So you can have as many students as you want and not have to worry about individual pricing. Basically, you get all the free stuff, and it just says district and group pricing available. So the difference between the unlimited annual pass and the unlimited season pass, obviously, is the unlimited annual pass gives you unlimited individual seats for both seasons, while the unlimited season pass, you have to pick fall or spring. So I do like this. And it also says right here that they have a discount for booking multiple years at once. So I do like that their pricing is laid out very clear and concise. I like that they have different options for different schools, which I feel like is very important. And they're offering an esports lab. Like, you have a good chance of, getting an esports lab. So overall, very impressed with the high school esports league. But this is a for-profit company, just like the next company we're about to talk about, which is Play VS. Now, Play VS is the company that I'm with. It's the one that is used by the Georgia Athletic Association, and Play Versus is the only company that is currently partnered with GHSA. So I've been a coach for Play Versus since 2017, since season 0, which seems like eons ago. I am now a Play Versus super coach for Georgia. So again, this is the organization that I have the most experience with. So for this website, I'm at playversus.com, PLAYVS.com. So when you go to this website, the very first thing you see is enroll in the fall 2022 season. If you scroll down, it talks about how you develop students through esports, how it's the fastest growing sport, and it's a part of many high schools across the country. Now, this is what sets Play VS apart from the High School Esports League and GCEF. They are the only company that is recognized by the Georgia Athletic Association. GHSA is partnered with NFHS, the National Federation of High School Network, and these two organizations only recognize Play VS as the official provider of varsity esports in the state of Georgia. So what does that mean? It means if you want your students to compete in esports and win like a state championship or participate in a live event that offers trophies and scholarships, Play Versus is what you have to pick. My school loves Play Versus. Play VS, Play Versus. I always say it wrong. I apologize. My school loves them because they want that varsity esports claim. They want the official GHSA trophy. They want everything to be official and sanctioned. So my school goes with this company. If you're deciding, I don't know what I want to pick, it's really, I think, going to depend on your school. Does your school want an official sanctioned sport through GHSA? Then your option is going to be Play Versus. Now, if your school doesn't care about that, you can choose GCEF or the High School Esports League. Between those two, they both offer free versions of their software. So honestly, between the two, you're just going to have to decide for yourself and your school which of the games you want to play. For example, if your school is fine with you playing first-person shooters, then you should go with the High School Esports League because they're going to be offering the games that students want to play. However, if your school is not going to allow you to play first-person shooters, then the High School Esports League and GCEF basically offer the same games, and you just have to pick which of the free versions that they offer that you want. So back to Play Versus. If you look, you have at the top High School Youth, About Us, Esports 101, and Local Esports. So unlike the High School Esports League and GCEF, Play Versus does not offer middle school leagues. They have something called the Youth League. So basically the Youth League, the only title you can play in the Youth League is Overwatch. They did offer Fortnite many seasons ago. They don't offer Fortnite anymore. But basically, with the youth league, if you are ages 13 to 18, you can sign up and participate. You do not have to have a coach. Pretty much, you have a Play Versus account. You're enrolled as a student. You can play. That's the youth league. And those are not sanctioned by GHSA. So there's no like state championship or anything for that. That's just if you want to play a first person shooter or your students are in middle school and you kind of want to get some kind of middle school organization going, that would be a great way to do that. So if you go to high school, you have state and regional competitions twice a year. So they're similar to the high school esports league. They offer a fall and spring. And the games that they offer are Super Smash Brothers Ultimate, that's on the Switch. You have League of Legends, that's on the PC. You have Rocket League, that is on the PC. And the only reason I know the platforms is because I participate. I'm sure if you click on the little icon, it'll tell you the platform that it will play on, but I'm just saving myself some time. NBA 2K 2022, that is on the PS4 or PS5. Hearthstone is on the PC, I believe. Not 100% sure what they play Hearthstone on. There it is right there, PC and console. Okay, good. So I was 50% correct. So PC, console. You have Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, that's on the Switch. You have Splatoon 2, that's on the Switch. Madden NFL 2022, that's PS4, PS5. League of Legends, of course, PC. And Rocket League PC, which I've already said. So there have been many changes that have come about since I've been a part of Play Versus and how the fall and spring seasons work. Not last season, but last school year, we had regional games. So what that meant is the GHSA might say, hey, for this season, we're only going to do, just ruining my shot. GHSA might say, we're only going to have like a Madden State Championship, a Rocket League, and a League of Legends. So what that means is any of the other titles are now considered regional titles. So that means that if you sign up for like Splatoon 2, you might be playing schools that are not in Georgia, but across the United States. So that's really up to your state organization. For example, JHSA does Madden in the spring during the off season of football. So it doesn't interfere with football. So you can have football players play Madden in spring. When FIFA was offered during the off season of soccer. So again, that's the only difference between state and regional league titles. As regional, you're going to be playing schools from all kinds of different states. Of state titles, you will only be playing schools in your state. So there's that. I will say there are some perks to going with Play Versus that I don't necessarily know are on the website. For example, right here, it is talking about Hearthstone, so that is on the website. But basically, if your team of three, your three students sign up for Hearthstone, they will gain card packs. If you're not familiar with Hearthstone, it really did become a pay to win game where, you have to have the latest expansion, because that's where the best cards were. That's how Blizzard made their money. So, if you're starting out this season playing Hearthstone and you don't have money, you're at a huge disadvantage. So Play Versus is filling the gap and giving students like card packs. So they'll probably be from the newest expansion because of that direct partnership with Blizzard. I have not had a Hearthstone team, so I really can't tell you about any experience with that. I do hope to have a Hearthstone team this upcoming season, and then I'll be able to have more feedback for you. So that's cool that you get preloaded card packs with your Battle.net account. And then with League of Legends, if you have a League of Legends team, they will gain access to all of the champions. It's very expensive to buy champions in League of Legends, so it's very nice that if you have a student with like a new account, they don't have to buy all of the champions, which can be very expensive. They instantly get an unlocked account and they will have access to all of the characters. So that's very cool. So that's one of the perks with Play Versus. So yeah, let's talk about high school. So we have an overview tab here. If you click on the overview tab, it's just going to talk about the partnership, how Play Versus is, state sanctioned. And then if you scroll down, you have esports benefits, how they work, what's the difference with Play Versus and the other companies that offer esports, and how do you get started. So basically, they talk about the benefits of esports, which include character growth, student engagement, STEM skill growth, socialization skills, industry experience, and GPA improvement. So basically, all three companies, talk about the same skill set that students will learn with a heavy focus on STEM. And then they have this nice video with Will as the freeze frame, the thumbnail here, hugging one of his kids who just won the Rocket League tournament. So that's cool that's there. If you scroll down, you will see a lovely quote from me. Many students I coach have found a community and home in our esports program. And that was me when I was coaching at Colquitt County High School. And I'll be honest with you, I do believe in that. Esports programs, they allow for girls and boys to participate. They're not separated by gender, like some of the other sports are. So that it's unique in that way. And it really brings together a diverse group of students. For example, I had football players, like very popular football players playing Madden alongside, band students playing Super Smash alongside kids who had never been in any kind of sport and just like video games. So you just had all this diversity in my personal esports program. And I'm sure the bigger ones have, more diversity than what I'm seeing. So it really just brings together like a unique group of students that may not have participated in a club or activity at school. And it really gives them a place to belong. So I think that's important. So I do stand by that quote. So it talks about how does Play VS work. So basically, it says you find your players. That's, around the school, you promote it. Then you build your program, you pick a pricing plan that you want, and then you compete in their seasons. So again, right here, it says the Play VS difference. It's talking about how they are the official partner with the National Federation for High Schools. And it's not on here. It says state association. So GHSA falls into that. So NFHS, and for us in Georgia, GHSA. So they are the official partner, they are the only partner, and they are the only provider of sanctioned varsity esports. And then they have down here like the different partners and state organizations. And then here are the titles, again, that they offer, and they are constantly adding new ones. So that's another thing with Play Versus that I think is different from the High School Esports League and from GSEF is their ability to quickly add titles. When we first started, there was League of Legends, Rocket League, and Smite. And since then, it has grown to, let's see, 1, 2, 3. Oh, I don't want to count twice. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 games. 8 games since 2017. And they're pretty popular games, I'll say, especially Switch. Mario Kart 8 was a huge success. Super Smash Brothers was a genius move on Playverse's part because there are a ton of students who play Smash. There's a huge community for Smash in high school. We talk about that in our episode that's titled Let's Talk Nintendo if you want to go and give that a listen. But yeah, they grow very quickly and they offer pretty up-to-date games. Like, as you can see, it's NBA 2K23, not 22. So that's an updated version of that game. So let's see. What else do we need to talk about while we're here? So they have a pricing tab, a getting started tab, news, resources, and they have a Canada tab. So let's go to pricing. Let's see the pricing page. So the very first thing you see when you click on the pricing page, it says break records, not budgets. If I scroll down, it looks like they have two plans available on the website. You have the pay by player, so that's an individual seat, and they have an early bird special that ends July 31st. So let's talk about the early bird special. So with the pay per player, it is $64 per student. So if you sign up before July 31st, that's the price that you will get. If you wait until after July 31st, the price is actually going to increase to $80. So if you are interested in using Playversus, if your school is interested in Playversus, I highly recommend that you sign up before July 31st, before the increased pricing kicks in. So it says the price shown is for 16 players. And also you can purchase this in a 4 or 8 player pass. So that means if you only have 4 students and you're not going to be paying this amount, you can order the 4 player pass and they will get that pricing to you. Now they also have a unlimited plan. And it also has an early bird special. It is $2,400 for unlimited players and teams. And that cost is going to cover both seasons, fall 22 and spring 23. So between these two, if you are a large school and you know what players you're going to have, the unlimited is probably best for you. If you are a smaller school, like the one I'm currently at, it's better to do the pay by player. And it's got some features down here. So it says official published partners. So that's game publishers. It's state recognized. You have exclusive in-game perks. That would be the Hearthstone card packs and the Champion Unlock in League of Legends. I don't know about Rocket League. I know Smash, you get DLC. Splatoon, I'm not really sure about. Madden and NBA 2K, I'm not really sure about. But you do get in-game perks. There is league scheduling that happens automatically with their system. You have different prizes. I don't know what they are, but it says they offer prizes. The teams are led by a verified faculty member, so that is where your coach comes in. So any coach who is using Playversus, they have to be verified by the school before they can sign up. You get free hardware and software. I know last year Playversus sent my school 4 switches, and that was very helpful because we would not have been able to compete in Super Smash, Mario Kart 8, or Splatoon 2 had we not gotten that hardware. So you can get hardware. You do have a dedicated Playversus account rep. I'm not sure if there's a list of them somewhere, but if there is, I'll try to find it. If not, that would be helpful to add. And then you get tech support. So that's the pricing. And I do know, that Playversus does offer specialty discounts for Title I schools. So if you're a Title I school and neither one of these pricing plans works for you, I do know that if you contact Playversus, they will work with you on a pricing plan. So you can click right here where it says pricing FAQs. So it talks about the early bird special. Unlimited plan. Here we go. You have a single season unlimited plan. So that's new. I didn't even know that was there. So if you only plan on participating in one season, so either the fall or the spring, that's a pricing plan for that. And then down here, pricing, you can see this list, the new pricing, which is $80 per player. Their new unlimited plan is $3,000. They have a single season unlimited plan. And then it says pricing may vary by state. And here you go. So special pricing or discounts. So Title I. So if you're a Title I school, this is for you. You can get unlimited passes for $2,000. They are estimating that that's a 33% discount. You have a single season unlimited pass for about $1,000. That's a 30% discount. So again, remember with single seasons, you're either doing the fall or the spring, not both. You have 16 passes. So if you only have 16 players, that can be about $896. That's a 30% discount. If you only have 8 students, it's $480, the 25% discount. And if you only have 4 passes, like 4 players, it's 256, and that is a 20% discount. And then if you are considered a game changer, which is an all-girls school or an all-girls team, you get a 30% discount on all passes. Now, that is to encourage more girls to enter esports, because that is still a problem seen in high schools. I know at the college and professional level, it doesn't seem like there's that many, but there definitely are. And then there are a lot of people like me who don't play competitively anymore who still play, just for hobbies, just for fun. And then, of course, you have your Special Olympics, which is new. I have not participated in the Special Olympics yet. I was going to talk to my school about that. But they say it is free for all participating teams in eligible states. There is no team limit. And then it lists the states that are doing the Special Olympics. And then they have different FAQs down here that you can just peruse on your own. So having a laid out pricing plan is always good. I do like that. I think it's very important to be upfront about the cost. And again, when you're trying to decide to go with Play Versus or GCEF or the High School Esports League, it's really just going to come down to your individual needs and the needs of your school. So before, after watching this video, or you can show this video if you want to your administrators or people at your school who are interested, because it kind of does break down the difference between the 3. After that, you can kind of decide. And of course, take what I say with a grain of salt. Again, I don't know your school and your individual needs, but again, I can just make recommendations based off of kind of my personal experience, I guess. All right, so that's pricing. So you have the Getting Started tab. This kind of tells you what you need to do to get started. So it says sign up with Play VS, assemble and activate your team. So what happens is you sign up as the adult, and then you have a school account, and then your students will create free Play Versus accounts, and then they will tag your school in their account, and as a coach, you can approve or deny. So I approve my students. They're listed from a pool, and then I can create teams and pull students from that pool, and that's how I create my teams. Now, step 3 is very important. Consult your IT department. School internet, very protected. There are a lot of things that are blocked, particularly Nintendo. Nintendo's online system is not that great. It's a running joke in the community on how bad their online service is. But it is only $20 a month. It's pretty cheap. You definitely need to check with IT and make sure that those switches are going to connect to your internet. For example, our switches did not connect when we first tried because we needed NAT type B and we had NAT type C. So we had to get our IT department to get into there and change the NAT type. And once that happened, we were able to play. But even though we have the better internet connection, we still have lag out. And that's just the online service, not really jiving with the school's internet. So just be aware of that. You have resources that you can click on, coach resources. So if you're a coach and you need help, that's where you go. Technical resources, that's tech support, Play Versus, the season information, the NBA 2K tournament that they recently had, Special Olympics. Then they have rules for each of the games. That can be a different episode for a different time because each game would be an episode on its own. So there's that for you. Let's see what else we have. I already talked about youth leagues. So if you go to the About Us tab, why Play Versus, why esports, we've kind of already covered that. Why would you pick Play Versus over the high school esports league or GCEF? It's because you want that state championship, you want that state title, you want the official state organization recognition, and you want your students to be supervised by an adult who's certified with the school. I don't know. I didn't see on the high school esports league if the coach had to be present when the matches happened. That could be a question that you could ask them and email them if you're interested in that organization. I know with Play Versus, the adult has to be present during the matches. and the students have to play physically at school. They cannot play from home. I do not know what the rules are for the high school esports league or GSEF for that. Why esports? That's going to talk about the skills. And then you have the community tab, which is super coaches and game changers. So super coaches, this is just the directory of all the super coaches by state. So for example, if you click on Georgia, you will see that I am there, Adam is there, and Tyler is there. And it lists our email addresses, and then you can click on the profile link and it'll take you to our profile. That is there so you can email us any questions that you may have, and we can help you as best we can. So there's that. The game changers is recognizing women and in esports. So it talks about how Play Versus Game Changers are a group of female ambassadors to empower more girls to get into gaming and those jobs, like the STEM-related jobs that are associated with gaming. To just have more diversity and representation in these sections. So it talks about their promise. So it talks about how they have a zero tolerance policy on toxic behavior. And that is true. I have had a couple run-ins with players from other schools being toxic to my students. Essentially, the coach of the other team was contacted, Play Versus was contacted, and they handled those situations accordingly. A coached environment. So what that means is your students who are participating in this program are supervised by an adult. And for example, toxic behavior happens in online games, especially towards female players or minority or LGBTQ plus players. It's just the reality that we live in. So if any of my students start showing toxic behavior, I'm physically there. I can intervene and kind of redirect them into a more positive way of interacting or showing their frustrations, which I think is very important. Like, gamers get a bad rep, especially if you're a first-person shooter gamer. A lot of people are like, you're all just violent psychopaths, and, that's just not true. So it's good that Play Versus has coaches like me and Will who are able to step in and course correct that behavior and let them know that kind of behavior isn't going to be tolerated. And I will tell you from just personal experience, after talking to students, explaining to them why this behavior is not acceptable. We have seen improvements in the sanction practices, and then also when students are just playing at home on their own with their friends, their teammates will come back and say, hey, blah, blah, blah isn't like being this way anymore. So that's good. That's good that that's there. And then, of course, mentorship, if you're interested, Play Versus can connect you with a mentor. And then they have the ambassadors with little bios about them, which is very, 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 very cool. And then you have your highlights, community spotlights, and a nice little quote about how women are underrepresented in the gaming industry, which is true. We are. And just seeing like women in leadership positions or seeing women treated respectfully in interviews or podcasts in the esports realm is just very positive and influential to young women who are interested in joining the space. So that's Game Changers, which I did not see on the High School Esports League or GSEF. So then you have the careers page, so you can go to careers and, see what jobs they offer. So Esports 101, you have best practices, getting started, being a coach, getting started, we've kind of already seen. Be a coach, you just simply click the sign up to coach button. You have to create a PlayVS account, and that'll get you in to set all that up. And then you have the Play Versus Academy and resources. The Play Versus Academy is very similar to what we do on the esports report. Basically, it's a series of like interviews with people who are considered experts in the field, whether it be a coach or just somebody else. I'm trying to think who else they would talk to. But basically, they have like little episodes. They have episode 1 through 5, and each episode is just about something different. And what you can do is listen to the episodes and kind of get an idea of what you might need to do, like to be a coach. So as you can see, they've got different videos that you can watch, and then the audios that you can listen to. So that's pretty cool. And then you have resources. And again, we've already gone to this resource page once. And this is a new tab, local esports. So you have the United States and Canada. So I'm going to click on United States. I'm going to scroll down to my own state. And I click on Georgia, and it's going to take me to this page that is specifically for Georgia esports. So it's got the nice little state of Georgia with a nice little nature city-ish background. And it looks like that is really it for the Play Versus website. So again, some positives about Play Versus. They're state sanctioned. You can go to a live event in both seasons at the state championship. You'll get physical trophies and prizing for winning. So that's a positive. The Game Changers is particularly interesting to me because, of course, I'm female, and I would love to see more female representation in the industry, and the industry just honestly become a more positive and welcoming place. In many ways, we have improved, but I was around for Gamergate, and we still have a long way to go for females in the industry. So the Game Changers, I like that. Their pricing plan, I like that it's pretty much laid out similar to the High School Esports League. I like that they have funding for Title I. This is the only platform I've seen that on. So I like that. That's a positive. So some limitations of Play VS. If your school is a Title I and you can't really afford any of their pricing models, you can talk to them first, and if you can't work anything out, then you might want to go to the High School Esports League or GCEF, since they do offer those free programs that you can participate in. So that's kind of a limitation. I will say that Play VS is the only one that I saw that is utilizing Nintendo Switches. I did not see that with the High School Esports League or with GCEF. So if you have students who are interested in playing any of the Switch titles, then you will go with Play Versus because they have that partnership with Nintendo, which is pretty cool. So that could be a positive or limitation. If you have students who don't have Switches and you can't get them, then obviously you can't play those games. So there's that. A positive about Play Versus is the cards unlocked for Hearthstone and the League of Legends champions unlocked that you can get. A limitation is for Play Versus is it can be confusing what is a state title and what is a regional title, but I think that's really left up to the individual states and not necessarily Play Versus itself. Because again, like GHSA does Madden in the spring, where another state might do it in the fall. So that's just really, there might be some confusion there. I would like to see more resources posted in the Play VS Academy. I would like to see some more episodes on that, specifically on how to coach specific games. I think that would be useful for new coaches. And curriculum, that's what it was. Okay, got my thought back. Grabbed it, got it back. Curriculum, I don't see where Play Versus offers any kind of curriculum, where GCEF and the High School Esports League both offer curriculum. The High School Esports League one is accredited. So if your school really, really cares about that, then Play VS might not be for you and your school, because they do not offer any curriculum that I am aware of. That might be coming down the pipeline in the future. I just don't know. So yeah, that's kind of like my list of pros and cons for each of these. So if you had to choose between one, remember GCEF is free. They have curriculum with games that you can use. They have a ton of resources. They're free. Again, can't stop mentioning free, especially if you're just a very low income school that there's no way that you can raise money to participate in Play VS or the High School Esports League. A limitation with GSEF is their games are very, very limited. I'm sure they're working on getting more games. I don't know exactly what the process is for that or how long that is. That's a question for PK Graph. So yeah, GSEF, that's if you just need a free version of esports. Maybe you want to start it as a club before you try to make it an official sport. And they offer curriculum. So that's why you would go with GSEF. The High School Esports League, why would you go with them? They offer more popular titles. They have a lot of first-person shooters in the titles that they offer. But again, there are not many schools that I know that will let you play those kind of games. So if those games get taken off the table, then really they kind of offer the same games that GSEF offers. They do have a free version of their program that you can use. But if you don't want the free one, then you're going to have to pay for the other pricing that I talked about earlier. They offer the chance to win an esports lab, which is pretty cool. Play Versus doesn't offer that, and neither does GSEF. And the High School Esports League kind of outlines the scholarship money that they offer for each of their game tournaments, which I thought was pretty cool. So why would you go with the High School Esports League? If your school allows you to play first-person shooters, if your school wants to try to get an esports lab, they do offer curriculum that is accredited, and the resources in that page look like they're more fleshed out and more advanced than GSEF. Play Versus can't even be in this category because, again, they don't offer any kind of curriculum. So to me, based on what I was looking at, the High School Esports League curriculum seems like it's the best. Again, I haven't had any personal experience with it. I'm just going off the information that both of us have. So then our final company, Play Versus, why would you pick them? They are the official partner with the GHSA organization, and they're the only ones that are going to be able to provide you with a varsity esport. So if your school cares about the varsity title, the varsity status, then Play Versus is for you. They do offer different pricing models similar to the High School Esports League. So that's a positive. They are willing to work with you if you're a Title I school. You just need to contact them about that. That's kind of a positive. Having the cards unlocked in Hearthstone and the characters in League of Legends is very beneficial for students. Again, I don't really know what they offer the other titles, so that would be something to ask your Play Versus representative. They do offer a youth league, but it's not as robust as the middle school programs for the High School Esports League or GSEF. So that's also another thing I need to talk about. If you're a middle school and you're interested in the program, then Play Versus might not be for you because they only have the youth league and it's Overwatch, and your school might not be cool with you playing that. So middle schools interested, you might want to go with the High School Esports League or GSEF. Both of those have more robust middle school programs. Play Versus, they offer, it seems like the most titles that would be acceptable in the high school. Like they don't offer any first-person shooters. The closest shooter you have with Play Versus is Splatoon 2. It just seems like they offer more popular titles because of their direct partnerships, which also is a positive in their favor. So that's really it. That's a deep dive into these three companies. I hope that this has been helpful to you. I'm sorry if I lost you. I'm sorry if this is a little boring. It's really hard actually for me to get back into the groove of doing a podcast. I feel like I'm out of practice. I stumbled over my words quite a bit. And hopefully I will get back into the job of doing this podcast again. So yeah, there you have it. There's a deep dive into GSEF, the High School Esports League, and Play VS. Now, again, I am with Play VS. I'm a super coach for Play VS. That is the program that I've had the most experience with. If you're interested in like more details about any of my experiences, feel free to send me questions, down below in the comments. Send me an email. I'm more than happy to answer them or try to find the answer for you if I can't. So yeah, that is the deep dive into these 2 for-profit companies and 1 nonprofit. So I hope that, this will help you and your school kind of decide what is best for you. All right. So I hope you guys enjoyed that episode. Again, I hope it was very informational. And now we're coming to the end of our episode where I know we normally do the rant, but honestly, it's summer vacation for me and I don't really have too much to rant about. So instead, I'm going to change this segment to something I did that was interesting and fun and I want to share with you. So recently I joined the Knights of the Last Call Patreon. I did their $5 a month subscription, and they gave me access to their Discord where they are running a variety of different games. I'm currently really having a lot of fun with Pathfinder 2E. So I did play in my first Northern Reaches game this past Saturday. It was a 6-hour dungeon. So it was very long, but it was so fun. So I played a goblin fighter whose name was Bubba Smalls. And he was fantastic because he was the only one in the party who had dark vision, which means I was the only one who could see the entire rooms and things like that. So basically what I would do is I would move up and then I would double strike you and that would be my turn. And I did a lot of damage. So that was a very fun experience. I highly recommend checking out the Knights of the Last Call if you're interested in Pathfinder, Dungeons and Dragons, or any other tabletop. It was very fun. The people, even though they were strangers that I played with, were very polite, and that was very exciting. So instead of a minute rant, I just wanted to share that with you. And, hopefully I'll stick to my schedule of posting at least once a month. It may be me for a while until Will gets back. Hopefully also I get into the groove of doing this podcast again. I do hope you enjoyed it. As always, if you have any comments or questions, please leave them below. Also, feel free to find us on social media. And if you would like to come on to the pod as a guest again, please email us at the esportsreporths@gmail.com. Thank you, and I hope you have a lovely day.